Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Calvin Chu, and you are listening to The Unrelenting Spirit. Um, Today is going to be I guess, a very different, I guess, suppose not too different episode, just because there's some news that's happening in my life. But before I really get into some other stuff, something that I am grateful for today, I'm actually super grateful for all my friends and my new buddies that I've made. Through my Discord server. If you guys don't know what that is already, Discord is basically a voice and text communication platform similar to Slack, Line, WeChat, WhatsApp, all that kind of stuff. And I'll leave like a link or something in this post. But basically, over these past, I want to say, two to 3 weeks, I've been really cultivating this community on there, and most of us are just like content creators right now. And people from different walks of life. We got some vloggers, musicians, artists, that kind of stuff. But I'm really grateful for them because even though this is like, I guess, a networking group, you could definitely view it as that. Everyone's been super supportive of things that are happening in each other's personal lives, and I'm super grateful. And I think that's a really amazing thing that we're doing. And it's not just like an Instagram pod, right? Like okay, well, not everyone knows what those are, but Instagram pods are basically like DM message groups where you share your posts, everyone likes and comments, and like I don't think that's bad at all. But like one thing that kind of turned me off from it was how impersonal it was. And one thing that I really love that we're doing with Discord is that everyone is really making effort to care about what each other is doing. And granted, that might change as we grow bigger, but I think for now, like it's a really great group, and I'm super grateful for them and all the support they've shown me. Something that I am proud of myself for, I guess it's one quick easy thing would be how fast I am at editing photos. I just started like photography, I think right at the end of September. I think my very first photo shoot was like, sorry, September. Actually, maybe I said that correctly earlier. But September, the end of September. I think my first shoot was like the 28th or the 29th. And now I've done like way past 20 photo shoots, and it's middle of February now. It's been going really well. I've been learning a lot about photography, and I've even been like teaching some people, and I will be teaching even more people through my learning groups, which I can definitely talk about later. But that's something that I guess I'm proud of myself for, because it's, I worked for it and results are showing. Something positive about someone else in my life. Something really great about Beverly from my Discord group. She has been like really supportive, and like she was actually one of the first people to find out some stuff that I'm about to talk about. But basically she notified the rest of the server, just telling them to send me some support without like even unveiling whatever was going on. And she's just been looking out for me, and it's really great. Like she has such a great heart for other people, and I think that's something really amazing about her. So getting into the actual topic for this episode is well, I just got laid off of my job on Thursday. And for those of you who know where I was at, and who have been a part of my life, I now used to work at Robertson Coaching International, also known as the Don't Settle Group. And I really loved my time there. It still is an amazing company with amazing people. But the company was just evolving in a direction where they weren't really in need of the skills that I had, or the value that I brought to the table, and it just made more sense for them to let me go just because of restructuring purposes. And it wasn't personal or anything. Like I love I guess used to be my boss. I love Travis a lot. We traveled together, we worked really closely together, and we accomplished some big things, and I'll always just be appreciative of the time I had there. Of course, it kind of sucks getting laid off because for about a year and a half. Um, all those people there, they were basically my family. And I loved everyone there, everyone in the office. I mean, if you follow my Instagram stories, you'd see them like at least once a week. There's usually at least one post of something happening in the office, whether it's Travis's daughter London coming into the office, or me, Reagan, Liz playing ping pong. But yeah, it was just a good time. And I think my only real reactions to me being laid off is like sadness that I won't be in proximity of those people anymore. At least not like regularly consistency from work. Um, but that doesn't mean that just because I'm not working there anymore doesn't mean that I can't stay in contact with them. And I guess that's a topic that I would really love to discuss for this episode is keeping in contact and allowing yourself to see the opportunity even when life seems to get really difficult. So if you're listening and you are in college or you were in college, you know that proximity really does have an effect. If you've especially dormed your first year of college, it was so easy to make friends because everyone's literally right there next to you. And you're basically with these people 24/7. And that effect really translates into the work environment. It's the power of proximity. um, you just really get to know the people around you, and there are pros and cons to that. Obviously the pro is that you meet people and you have a lot of time to develop relationships with them. But one of the cons is that you allow yourself to fall into this sense where you don't really need to be proactive in maintaining relationships because you see people every day. And that's something that I'd really love to challenge you, and I guess challenge myself, to really be intentional with reaching out to others, like even if you work with them, or for people out of work, other people in your lives, for example, maybe people in your church, some family members, anything really, to be intentional about reaching out to others and maintaining those relationships. Because a lot of people say on Facebook, or like shout out to the homies who like I don't talk to for 2 years, and then when we talk it's great. Like that's amazing that you're able to keep up the relationships like that, but it's totally different if you haven't talked for 2 years and then all of a sudden talk, versus if you've been keeping up with that other person's life. Because the thing about relationships, it's not all about highlights. When you only talk with someone like once a month, you're really only gonna get the highlights, because it takes a while for anyone to tell their story. Versus if you are a part of someone's life, even like once every other day or once a week, you at least are able to hear out more of their life, and there's not that restriction of time when someone's trying to share their life with you. So you don't only get the highlights, because it's actually the difficult points and the low points of people's lives where real bonds are made. I'm trying to think of an example right now, but let's say you were, for whatever reason, you're an Olympian, you just want to race at the Olympics. Obviously there's a whole crowd cheering for you as you win. Obviously that is a great moment, that is a highlight worthy moment that you would share with other people. But 3 years after that event, are you even going to know anyone who was in that crowd, anyone who cheered for you? Obviously that's like example where you're distant from the audience, people cheering for you. But even afterwards, like let's say after you ran and won the race, you were in a room of people and there were people congratulating you and you were having a good time. Do you think in 3 years you would still share that kind of a bond with those people if they hadn't talked with you? Or do you think you would have had a better relationship with the people who were actually supporting you during your journey to win that race, through all the difficult times that you had to go train, work hard, basically all like the pits and the non-glamorous parts of your life? Like I'm pretty sure you would remember and hold dearly those people who supported you through that over the people who like just celebrated you with you in one occurrence. And that's really important to keep in mind, especially in marketing, and for any value you bring for whatever you end up doing with your life. um, you're not there to provide value in the highlight moments, because in the highlight moments no one needs anything, right? When you're celebrating, you don't really need anything. What you really need to do is provide a solution and help to people at their low points, because that's when they need it. And not only just doing that, but also being a point of comfort for other people, because when people are struggling, there are several factors at play, including like their person's own pride and ego. When you are down in the dumps, it's hard to seek help, because you got your own pride, and especially if you've only got like your friends you've only been sharing highlights with, it makes it even more difficult. Like, you have to be able to provide a solution in a way that's delicate and understanding to them, and that's the way that you're going to really bring value and help them through whatever situation you're in, whatever company or business you're doing. Like, I mean, therapy, for example, is really applicable. Or what's it called? Like, I don't know, psych. I don't know. Like getting consulting session. I don't know, stuff like that. But for people, if you are a consultant, for example, if someone comes to you, you want to make sure that they know that you understand that they're hurting, and you are not there to give them judgment. You are just there to help provide a solution and guide them through whatever problem they're struggling with. And that's how you're really going to change and impact lives. And I guess that relates to what I mentioned earlier with Beverly. That's really what she did for me. She just listened, was a supportful friend, a supportive friend. But yeah, that, I guess, kind of linking this conversation together is going back to maintaining relationships, because if you are able to be there for people during the difficult times, or not even necessarily difficult, but in the non-glamorous times, you're going to make some real connections. And when it comes time in their lives that they're actually struggling with something much deeper, you are going to be the person that they come to for help, and you're going to be that person they come to for advice, and strength. And that's how you form real relationships. And obviously, I feel like this applies more so to personal life, but you can also think of it in terms of business. Let's say, I'll use Travis as an example, because he's a great example. Back at Robertson Coaching International, our mission was to positively and massively impact the lives of the people we were serving. I know that they do like coaching calls at least once a month in their coaching program, maybe sometimes even more or whatever. But it's all about staying up to date with the clients' lives, making sure that they know we care about them and we're there to serve them. And even though it's a business, obviously, companies make income and whatever, the fundamental goal or the fundamental outcome of the company is to help people. And when the coaching team, when the support team, when everyone is regularly staying in contact with the coaching members, that the members know that we actually care about them, and they'll be more open to seeking us for actual help when they need it, because we were there in the non-glamorous times. Because everyone knows it's so easy to suddenly pop into someone's life when you're celebrating or when things are going great. Like, obviously it's great when things are going great, but life has its ups and downs, and it's all about who's going to be there for you when you're down to help you get back up. So that's something that you really need to come across in your business or in your personal life, whatever you're doing, to make sure that other people know that you care and how you are going to actually help them. Even if you can't really directly help them, just staying in contact, like, people will lean onto you for support, and that's how you'll know you hold a very strong presence in that person's life. So yeah, the point of today is keep in contact, with the people that are important to you. Um, and don't rely on the power of proximity, because while proximity is great and you can use it to your advantage, there is definite strength and power in having the discipline to reach out to people. And like, I know I just used the word discipline, and that's very intentional because I think it should be disciplined, but it's not a chore. Like, even though I say discipline in terms of like getting over yourself and that awkwardness of reaching out to other people, because maybe it might seem weird, but once you start doing it and reaching out to others, it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard to talk to people. It's all about just getting over your own personal pride and your personal ego and whatever fears keeping you from making connections. But when you do make those connections, it should be fun. Like, that part of actually making the connection is not discipline at all. Like, if anything, it's a great time. Just get to know what's going on in people's lives, get to know what they care about, and how you can be a part of their life, basically. Like, it doesn't have to be a super active role. Like, you don't have to be on them 24/7, but even sending them a message every other day, even if they don't reply, at least they know that you care. And when they do reply, even if after you sent them multiple messages, don't make them feel bad about it. Some people just aren't tethered to their phone. Some people don't check their email every day. Some people don't check their Facebook messages every day. The important thing is don't make other people feel bad. Like, I'll just give you an example. There's one of these friends of mine that I've been reaching out to, constantly sending just little notes of encouragement, like every other day or so. I know like he hasn't read them. Well, I mean, maybe he has and just hasn't replied yet. But regardless, like, every new message I send him, I don't make it seem as though I'm waiting for a response. I try to send the message just pure encouragement, because it doesn't matter if he responds to the message or not. The point is, I want him to know that I care about him and I want him to be successful, and I'm praying for his success. I'm happy for his happiness. And I know that I will have a great relationship with this person. I mean, we're totally cool. We actually just talked on the phone but a little over a week ago, I think. But it's really not that hard, just sending people a message. Like, the only thing that's really keeping you from doing it is like fear and pride, I guess, because you can really distill it down into those two things. So talking about pride, the reason why you wouldn't send a message because of your own pride is like, oh, you feel like you shouldn't be reaching out first, or you feel like it's a little bit weird to do that. For fear, it'd be like, oh, what if they don't respond, or like, what if they don't feel like talking to me? Well, if they don't feel like talking to you, they're just not going to talk to you. Like, it's really no big deal at all, because if you're going to encourage someone or just check up on someone, you don't even really need a response. Like, all you need to say is like, hey man, hope you're having a great day. I just want to let you know that you're in my thoughts. I'm praying for you and I'm wishing you the best. You don't even have to look for a reply to that, but just the fact that you're sending that shows people you care, and it takes like no effort at all, especially if you're using like iMessages, or if you're using Discord, like I'm using Discord, or Facebook messages, whatever. You literally just people type so fast these days. Just type, hey man, thinking about you, hope you're doing great, praying for your success. Send that to like 20 people. It'll take you less than 20 minutes. And I'm sure like you'll get at least half of those people responding back to you and like wanting to check up on you as well. So anyways, I think that's gonna pretty much conclude it for this episode. I was also wanting to test out this new mic that I got. Let me know if you like the audio quality here. But yeah, I just want to, I guess this is my way of sharing the news with you that, I unfortunately got laid off. Company's going in a different direction. I'm not angry at all. And I really hope that I get to work with Travis again in the future. Yeah, don't feel bad for me. Things will, life will move on. I'll figure something out. If anything, I might put some more time into making episodes like these, just trying to give you a little bit of value here in like 20-minute episodes. But yeah, if you want to be a part of the whoa, can't talk today. If you want to be part of the discussion and you want to hang out with me and my community, feel free to join us on Discord. I'll go to my website. If you're listening to this in the Apple Podcast section, either my website or message me on Facebook or something like that, or on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at choose.life. That's chus.life. My website is calvin-chu.com. So that's calvin-chu.com. Or I guess that's technically called a hyphen, but yeah, you'll figure it out. You're smart. Yeah, I'll make sure I have some information about Discord. There's probably stuff on there already. I mean, this podcast is available on my website, and I know the link to Discord is on there, so you can find it there. But I'll try to make it more accessible. I'm in the middle of revamping my entire website, so if you haven't seen my website recently, it's completely different. Content is still the same, but the look is different. I'm gradually adding more pages in, but yeah, I hope to see you guys in Discord. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, I'd love to see your comments. Let me know what you think, especially if you actually go out and message 20 people. I would love to hear if you messaged 20 people, and I'd love to encourage you and hear about how well things go. But I have now gone a minute and 30 seconds ish over my 20-minute time. So hope you guys all have a great day. Remember to be your best self, and in whatever you do with your life, live a life worth telling.